tere ja tulemast! Täna olen ma Ameerika lennukikandjas Midway. See match toimub hotspotil, a map that nobody has ever seen before. And I start out by going straight south, because this is the decent hotspot spawn. Sadly, the enemy carrier had exactly the same thought, but luckily my fighters were around, so they make the enemy fighters start pulling off. There's essentially two places you want to go with your planes at the start. One is straight through the middle or over this hill that I went, and the other one is going towards sea. Because at sea you're gonna try to hit destroyers, and here you're trying to hit battleships. So since I see a North Carolina here, I want to hit him immediately before the enemy Midway's fighters show up. I also used my fighters to defend against the enemy Midway strike, and well, I messed up on my strike, but that's okay, because it's the group that wasn't being focused fired, so I could easily do it. So now that my fighters have defended, I'm sending them to resupply, and I am pulling my torpedo bombers back. One of the groups died, so they are immediate, or rather, they will be ready in 30 seconds, and I'll try to set this North Carolina on fire with my dive bombers. Essentially, this map and this layout comes down to sea control, because both teams will have A and B initially, and usually, people don't really go west on this map because it's a bad idea. Because if you go to the west side, you're gonna run into... if you run into enemies, you aren't doing anything, you aren't fighting over anything over there. It's much better to go towards the middle, because you'll be closer to sea, and then you'll be fighting over the control of middle. And I think this North Carolina might actually die to the fire, which is very good for me. Okay, he might not actually die, because he might have repairs soon. But anyway, since I want to get a little straight ahead more to place that island with the volcano to the right of my ship, because then enemy planes that are coming would have to fly over my ship or take a long tour around my ship. I also want my fighters to be in the air soon. Oh, and it's Isos, so possible I'd like to drop on him and kill him, because, some friendly competition. Sadly, he used his ability just as I dropped, so he's gonna take a lot less damage from this. Damn, didn't even take half his HP, and he's 2 tiers lower, just by pressing T. Damn it. Oh, and the enemy team also has Icy. Icy is in the destroyer. I don't really want to fight him. I just want to make him afraid. Because Tuka seems to be on the right side alone, I start moving my plane over there because he's requesting for help. And I can understand it, because he's an easy target over there. Oh wow, my torpedo drop that I tried hitting Isos with managed to hit the Yamato actually as well. Wow, that's kinda bad. For him, that is. Good for me. And I think one of the enemy Yamatos is gonna sink now. And I'll try to hit this Yamato now, especially if he keeps slowing down and standing still, then I can drop from really far away. Or that North Carolina, both are good targets, I guess. But Isos is next to the Yamato, and Isos already used his ability, but look at how quickly my planes are dying. Oh my god, half the squadron got killed almost immediately. But luckily I still managed to do my 3 hits. One of them was a good one, did 9,000 damage, but 2 were bad, did 4,200 damage. So I guess on a Yamato that's not really a concerning attack. But because I caused flooding earlier with the one torpedo, this attack should have caused more flooding, And now I'll follow up with dive bombers, if I can at least. Also, I think I might need to start going forward straight ahead, because enemies are pushing in from the western side, and we are... Okay, in regards to this Yamato, I don't want to attack with dive bombers at the moment, because I think his repair will be up very, very soon, so it might be a bit of a waste if I do it immediately. But yeah, essentially, since we have people concentrated on the right side, we're probably gonna get C eventually, and that will give us quite an advantage, I think, in terms of getting points. Right now it's equal, but we are just down in terms of ships. Okay, I'll try dropping on Isos again, never mind, he has his ability up again, let's go elsewhere then. The sad thing when playing in divisions is that you can't really protect people with your fighters. Of course, if we're honest, then protecting people with your fighters actually isn't the best thing to do in your carrier, especially for someone like me who will probably just kill the enemy team if given the chance. But it's just that, you know, you'd like to do it. Damn, I wanted to drop on that Atago, but enemy cruiser fighters ruined it. I tried to bring my fighters in to do it, and I'll try to set this Yamato on fire, but I think he already has actually a repair, so it's kind of a waste, but you know, whatever. Okay, I'm afraid of those fighters right now. I need to... Oh my god, this is bad. Because those fighters definitely seem to be searching for my ship, which means that I will start running away as quickly as I can. But now I can drop with my torpedo bombers. Well, soon, probably, I think, maybe, if I'm lucky. I'll try to get my fighter to launch, to escort my ship. Don't think it'll be in time, but I might be able to get it. Oh, also, I think that the weather has been dealing, fire damage was dealt to the Yamato after all. Anyways, I tried to drop further away, because I'm not very concerned about that at the moment. I'm more concerned about these torpedo bombers. I'm turning away because carriers are really bad at turning. Like, they have like the largest turning circle. So I tried giving myself as much time with anti-air, and now I slowed down and I'm turning into the drop. This should hopefully negate some of the torpedoes. Sadly, it still took a ton of them, but because I managed to avoid some of it, I didn't die. Like a Midway drop can, just a torpedo bomber drop can outright kill you. Luckily my fighters are up now, and I immediately engage dive bombers to cause them panic and hopefully down a lot of planes so I don't get set on fire. Although at this point it might be okay to actually cause, to repair the flooding, because it'll get the fire too, even if I get set on fire. See, the attack happened and the repair was still going on. But anyways, now it's done. Now I can go back to dealing with my torpedo bombers. This is kind of bad. It's bad in the sense that if the enemy Midway comes again, I'm low HP and I'll probably die if I don't get help from some ally, but my plan here is to try to deal as much damage to the enemy team before he can kill me, because carrier plays game on time. You might technically be able to kill the enemy team, like the entire team, but you don't have time for that. Like, a battleship is able to essentially... nice one, tab, very good, took out the battleship. Anyways, a carrier is a play on time. That is, if you're safe and you have planes, you'll be able to take out... Essentially, you could kill the entire enemy team. But you don't have enough time for it in a match, because your planes cycle too long and all that stuff. Whereas all the other ships essentially could kill the entire enemy team if they were all placed in front of them and they didn't shoot back. And the duration of a match. but a carrier can't do that. So, the fact that even if I die and they still have a carrier left, but if I bought my team essentially a big enough advantage, it's okay if I die and the enemy team has air superiority because they won't have enough time to deal enough damage. Because, I mean, the thing is that he attacked me. He did one attack. That's at least one full strike that wasn't done on another ship. And actually it even took longer than a normal full strike. So it's also, I think that the cruiser used his ability finally. Anyways, so I'll pull my torpedo bombers away. But yeah, so that means that he spent more time than one full attack on just attacking me, and he didn't sink me. Now if he wants to sink me, he has to follow up. And he pretty much has to follow up, because if he doesn't, then the initial strike was completely wasted, because it doesn't matter how much HP I have, I'll still be able to deal the same amount of damage. But anyways, now that my torpedo bombers are here, I think, the enemy Midway is somewhere around too. Maybe I could like go and kill him. Or maybe I should go strike the Tirpitz. I'm not sure. I'll look for the Midway for a moment at least. See if I can do something about him. I can tell where the torpedo bombers are coming, so I more or less know where he should be. I move in that direction. I bring my fighters over. When I meet his fighters, I'll run away and engage. And see, I found the Midway. Okay, now my plan is to use my fighters to engage them and have the rest of my team deal with this Yamato, Tirpitz and cruiser while I go deal with the Midway. This will do two things to the Midway. One, it will grab his attention, and because he is at he spent more time on doing so-called useless things, as in he didn't kill me, which means that his entire attack in that case was completely wasted. So I have at least one full attack advantage for now. And that might actually be one of the reasons why we have an advantage. At this point I thought that I won't be putting it on YouTube because my game actually hasn't been that great. I mean, it's 16 torpedo hits only, and only one ship kill. But anyways, it's a Midway. I see him starting to turn, so I pull my planes back and just go elsewhere. Because the carriers are literally the worst maneuverable ships in the game. Everything else maneuvers better. So yeah, I decide to do a close drop, but okay, anti-air of course picks some planes up. Of course not that many. But wow, he still has 2000 HP. God damn it. Oh well, whatever, it happens. Because they only have one battleship and carrier left, it's not the end of the world, I think. I can follow up with my dive bombers, although his fighters might be coming back, so maybe I should just pull my fighters back instead of sending them to the ship. I'm not sure yet. Actually, yeah, I'll take them back. Because if he brings his fighters up, I can engage with my fighters. He has to engage back. And I can just... While I won't kill his fighters, I'll be able to lock them down for a while, and I can do my strike in that time, I think. Although, right now I have to run away. But yeah, essentially I think it was a huge mistake to attack my carrier with his carrier when he didn't follow up. If you attack a carrier, you have to go for the win. Or rather, you have to go for sinking the enemy carrier. But it worked out nicely for me. I got 652k and almost 10,000 experience. And I got a Witherer in this match. And I got 3,300 base experience. Very good. And that Yamato on our team was really good, and Tuka and Tab were good too. This was a really good match for me and my team. We played a lot better than all those division people on the enemy team. And I did 303,000 damage. Almost 84,000 of it is purely from fires. Think about it, 84,000 fire damage. That's a lot. But anyways, remember that if you are playing a carrier and you attack the enemy carrier, you better follow up to sink them, otherwise your attack is wasted. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.